Hi, welcome back to my channel. Are you broke or poor? What's the difference between the two? Well, I read a quote that says something like, being broke is only a temporary situation, and being poor is eternal. Yes, I do agree that being poor is just a state of mind. But if you've been broke for a long time, it becomes permanent. It's not temporary anymore. If you're being real, being broke is really just a temporary situation where you're like, yeah, man, I'm broke this month. I had so much bills to pay, and I just had to spend on my kids' stuff, and there's so much going on. So you feel like, man, I spent more than I brought in this month. And there are some of those moments in your life where you do feel like, oh my God, I made this much money here and there, and then thankfully nothing went wrong, like nothing broke. You don't have to spend that money, and so you feel like you were able to save up more. So yeah, that's just a temporary situation when you feel like you have less coming in and more leaving your bank account. So that's broke. But again, how long have you been broke? If you've been broke for way too long, you can't even remember the last time you had some cash flow, then you're practically poor. So then being broke can become permanent. You can be broke for so long, and then that's a permanent situation because you didn't look for ways to get out of that situation of being broke. So then you're poor, right? Who wants to be poor? Well, let's not get all biblical about it. I get that the kingdom of heaven belongs to the poor, or to the humble. But don't make the mistake of thinking God loves the poor more than the rich, because thinking poor people are more humble. No, not true at all. Not true. By any means, explain it to me how that's true. Because all I can tell you in my years of living in this world, and that's a lot of years, a lot of decades. I've been around for about 5 decades now, almost. Not quite yet, but I'm almost there. I've been living in this world for almost 50 years, and I will tell you, I can attest to you that I have met so many people who are literally broke and poor, who has the audacity to be arrogant. They are not humble at all. And I have also met people with real wealth, with great, massive wealth, who does everything with humility. I really have met people like that. And if you're going to try to tell me that God chooses poor over rich, wrong. You've never been so wrong. So let's get on with the subject of, are you rich or are you poor? How long do you want to stay broke? So let's get on with the whole, are you broke or poor? How long do you want to be broke? How long do you want to be poor? Do you want to get out of poverty? Do you want to get out of the situation of living paycheck to paycheck? Well, guess what? I may have the answer for you. The reason I can say I may have the answer is I have been that person. I have lived a life with absolutely nothing. I started with a deficit. I was literally poor, as in I lived in the ghetto. hmm To now, I can tell you, I know the difference between living a privileged life versus absolutely nothing. Like, you have nothing. There's a quote that I read by Muhammad Yunus. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. And it says something like this: poverty is not created by poor people. It is produced by our failure to create institutions to support human capabilities. Very true. That's very true. Like, poor people are not poor because they wanted to be poor, because it's the choices they made. Poor people are there because of a system that you bought into, that you fell for. There's a system out there that is created by the rich to keep you poor. They want you poor. They want you to stay poor. That's why they don't teach you how to make money. That's why they don't teach you the system of how to get ahead in life financially. We have been programmed to be poor. There is an education out there that you and I can learn, we can get the proper information on how to get out of poverty. But why is it that there are more poor people than there are rich? Have you ever thought of that? Have you ever wondered why there are more poor people than there are rich? It's because the rich are willing to do the extra work that the poor won't do. It's about going the extra mile, be willing to do that even when you don't feel like it. So yes, the rich and the powerful created the poor. Period. End of story. I said it. Sometimes things can be right in front of us and we can still miss it. Much like what's happening with the economy. A good amount of man and woman often react to their own financial circumstances with surprise. There are signs and indicators right in front of your face that will determine what your financial standing will look like in a few years. What you're doing today will determine what your financial status will look like in a couple of years. I understand now and then we get so busy and preoccupied looking for what we want to see that we fail to assess the reality of things. So here's my message. How about get educated? Financial literacy, financial education. Get financially educated. Get your bachelor's. You don't even have to get your PhD or master's degree in finance. Just get your bachelor's. Get at least that, okay? Because what I mean by that is it is the people who think that there is nothing different that they have to do in order to thrive in the next couple of years. Because what's happening today, right now, right this moment, this year 2022, is going to decide what your next couple of years will look like financially. I'm talking about financially, okay? All the other issues of life, like relationship and health, that's also going to happen. Life happens to you. Life happens no matter what. And we have no control over a lot of those things, like our health, relationship, because then you're against, other people. But with your finances, you kind of have got control over that. So if you are broke or poor, that's kind of your fault. It's not the government's fault. It's nobody's fault. It's your fault that you didn't get the proper information. It's your fault that you didn't get the education you needed. It's your fault. Your life is your fault. If you're successful and happy, that's on you. That's because of what you're doing. If you're broke, poor, miserable, desperate, and stressed out, depressed, whatever, that's also your fault. Take ownership. Take responsibility of your choices. Take responsibility of your actions. Because here's what I will tell you. Yes, I have been out of poverty for many, many years now. I don't even really, I don't even think about it anymore because it's been so long. But when I say that I started with a deficit, I mean that. I really mean that. I started on the very bottom of the pit, on the very bottom where I had nowhere else to go but up. But there are people that kind of like the bottom too much, or I don't know, or are they just people that are not willing to try something different and not willing to pay the price? Because there's price you pay for success, and there's also price you pay for failure. Which price are you willing to pay? Which price do you want to pay? The price of failure, the price of success? Either way, you're paying a price. So here's the deal. Get the proper information. Listen to the people who's made it. Listen to the people with the upper hand. There are people who's been there, done that, and they are loving life today because of the decisions they made years and years ago. And today is the day. Today is your day to make that decision, to never again live a life living paycheck to paycheck, to never again live a mediocre life. Here's my information, and here's my message for you. Watch and listen and follow people like Patrick Bet-David. He's got a beautiful YouTube channel. The amount of information in his channel is amazing. Robert Kiyosaki, you got Jasprit Singh, you have even like Andre Jake. Those are the people. I repeat, I just started listening to these guys during the lockdown. Robert Kiyosaki, a billionaire. Come on, who's to know better? You have Patrick David, Valuetainment. I think, yeah, Valuetainment is the name of his YouTube channel. Jasprit Singh. These are people that are immigrant children. They are minorities. They are people whose parents left their country, who came to America for better life, for a better life, for opportunity. And that's what they came here for. And that's why what they have to say and what they have to offer is legit. These are people that have amazing information that you and I can take advantage of. It is amazing. It is awesome. It is beautiful. You have no idea how it will change your life and how it can change your life. I just started listening to them like about a year now. But yes, I have been making millions for many years now, but not the amount of millions that they are making, that they have. That's why I still listen and follow. But I have been doing the stuff that they're teaching today and for the many years they've been on YouTube are things that I had been doing myself. But the fact that they're teaching it to you, the steps they took to get there, is priceless. And dude, come on, man, it's free. What? It's free to get this education because it's a YouTube channel. All you have to do is like or subscribe their channel so that they can get rewarded for sharing that information to you. What a deal. Can't get any better. Okay? So yes, get educated. Get that proper information about finances, about your financial freedom, about your future. Thank you. Hello. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for YouTube algorithm so we can reach more people with educational, motivational, and encouraging content. Hope to see you all again later.